your desire to have children and your opinion of children and legacy and all those things. So now you have the opportunity. Can you expound on your thoughts around children and legacy?
Yeah. So I think children are great for other people. I don't desire children basically because, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. You know, I'm the oldest of like 8 kids and I grew up babysitting, and now that I don't have to do that anymore, I don't want to babysit my own kid. Like, I'm over it. So there's a lot of reasons why I personally don't want to have kids, but I do feel like kids are great because Black people do need to have those 2-parent households that they can pass on something valuable to their kids. So when, you know, I'm not against kids because I want my community to expand and expand in a positive way.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that anyone should expect from anyone, especially because it's so much harder because it's so much more expensive to have kids nowadays. Yeah, so that's just my personal belief. But I do appreciate people that have kids. But I think that a lot of times people have kids just to have them, especially in the Black community. They don't think about their kids' future when they are having kids outside of wedlock. You know, and then, you know, it happens, and a lot of women's rhetoric is, well, I don't need a man. I can take care of my kid by myself. Yes, sis, you might not need a kid, but does that kid not need the father? Like, why weren't you thinking about what's best for your kid when you were engaging in this? You know, like, it's so easy to have sex. Anybody can have sex, you know, but if there's even just a 1% chance that your kid's life is going to be better because you took the time to be like, nah, let me make sure I got a partner that's going to be there. If there's even a 1% chance that they have more resources, more opportunities, the double income is going to help them, why not do that for your kid? Because it's not about, once you get pregnant, it is no longer about you.
Yes.
Like, okay, sis, you don't need a man, good for you. But it is not about you. Like, stop saying that dumb shit. Because first of all, why wouldn't you want a man to help you with your kid? And then second of all, it's not about you needing a man. It's about that kid needing the second parent.
Yes.
So, you know, people have kids way too willy-nilly. They think that their legacy is going to be them just having kids. But if you have a 1-parent household, you struggling with your kid, not saying that every single parent household struggles, but we see what happens. Like, we aren't blind to, I have friends, I have family that's been in that situation. So it's like, when you see that they struggle, and you think that having kids is going to be your legacy, what are you passing down to your kids? Like, what, like, really, like, I really want to know, like, if you're struggling, your kid is already limited in resources, they're limited in mentality because they don't have both parents. What are you really passing down? You're passing down more struggle. You're passing down a cycle of trauma. You're passing down, now that kid is going to grow up, and just like you thought it was okay to be a single parent, they're thinking it's okay to be a single parent. You know, it's really hard to duplicate things in our own life that we have not seen be done successfully.
Yeah.
So I just want people to really think about, why are y'all having these kids? Because it's not about legacy if you don't have really anything to pass down to them. Like, if you want your family name to continue on, just say that, even though your family name don't really mean shit to begin with. I mean,
Why? Because it's our slave name.
Exactly. Our family names aren't even our fucking family names. So why are you so gung-ho on passing down this slave master's name anyway? But yeah, it's just like, really think about why you're having kids, because the legacy is not an automatic thing. If you haven't built anything for your kids, then that shit really don't matter.
So a lot of your response had to do with like financial resources. So what do you say to someone who has potentially unlimited resources? You mentioned on your platform before in regards to like Nelly and Ashanti, multimillionaires who have all of the financial backing to be able to afford 1,000 children. So what are your thoughts about having children when you're financially sound, but not necessarily in wedlock?
So the financial foundation for a kid is just the beginning. Like, I don't feel like that's even something that we should even talk about anymore, because we know it takes money for a kid. Like, duh. So if you are financially stable to have a kid, great, you should be. But there's so much more than that, because no amount of money in the world, no number of nannies, no community funding, whatever, is going to replace a 2-parent household. Nothing. I don't care how much money you got. And a good example of this is, you know, Kandi Burruss, and she had, you know, Riley when she was really young. Kandi has always had money. She is a millionaire. She's a multimillionaire. But we saw that episode. I don't know if you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did you see that episode where Riley got off the phone with her dad and she just started busting out crying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, Kandi has all these resources. She gives her daughter whatever she wants. You know, her daughter is spoiled. She's taken care of.
Yeah.
But you can still see the hurt that she has from not having her father in the house.
Yes.
So it's like, all the money in the world will never replace a father. It will never replace a mother. So when I'm talking about, you know, Nelly and Ashanti and how I feel like she's going out bad, because we know you want a marriage, sis. You said it last year. So people were like, well, how you know she wants marriage and everybody wants marriage? You want the commitment of kids, but not the commitment of marriage. When you can end a marriage like that, but you can't take a kid out.
Right.
You're gonna always be a mom. So you're gonna skip over an easier commitment for a long-term commitment and then really act like the dad doesn't matter. No. I'm not going to let you know. You know, people like to downplay a two-parent household because they don't got it. Knowing damn well that if their baby father would have proposed to them, I'm not saying that they would have accepted it automatically, but every girl that has a baby would have liked at least for the baby father to propose.
Yes.
If even the only reason was that they got pregnant, at least he's trying to step up.
Right.
But y'all didn't get that, so now y'all trying to downplay it. Y'all not fooling me.
Okay.
Everybody would have rather had a single two-parent household for their kids. Y'all not fooling me.
So you're a young woman in your 20s, and you have such a strong opinion about the institution of marriage, about that level of commitment, a two-parent household, when it seems like ladies who are relatively close to you in age aren't as dedicated to that belief system. Where does that come from?
It really just comes from, and it's not even, you know, everything that I say on my platform, I hope that if it does nothing else, that it benefits Black people. That is always my goal. That's always the purpose that I come back to. That is the mission for my podcast. Is if you don't get anything else from it, it's that you know I'm trying to elevate the Black community because that is my role. You know, every other race, they can do whatever they like. They can move as individuals because at the end of the day, they're all working towards the common mission of advancing their race. Black people are the only people that don't give a fuck about advancing their race. They will have kids out of wedlock. They will marry interracially. They will do all these things that negate any kind of progress that we can make with our community, all in the sake of, well, it's my life, whatever makes me happy. And it's just like, you're going to chase what makes you happy your whole life, sis? How? When happiness can be here one day and gone the next day. I want to live with purpose. I don't care if I live with happiness. My purpose will make me happy. But we just willy-nilly, we just do things. We don't think about them twice. And I just want Black people to just sit and just think about what we are actually doing.